Train the muscles, not the joints. So welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about the butt wink. Now, a lot of you guys have probably researched this, or you know all about the butt wink. So basically what that is say you're coming down in the squat. I'll show you. So you're coming down in the squat like, look, I don't want to fall down. Come down the squat like this, your back will remain flat, right? Or slightly arched. But then when you come down past a certain point, no matter how much you try, the bum will round under. Right? It'll round under. You see that? Rounding under. Now in squatting or any weight that's on top of your shoulders or anything like that, you want to avoid the butt wink. You want to avoid rounding that back, because that's when the back is in jeopardy when it comes down to load bearing. Now when it comes down to sprinting or dynamic type sports or jogging or movement, you know, you're not really load bearing, but you're actually using the lower back as a spring, then you don't worry about the butt wink, because at that point you need the vertebrae to be able to rotate, you need them to be able to move in different directions, but you're not primarily focused on lifting. But when you're lifting, you want to make the spine into one solid rod, right? So basically you want that back to be slightly arched and the facet joints to be sitting on top of each other. You don't want them to be doing this wavy type snake thing that is great for cardio and is great for movement and sprinting, but once you're lifting, you don't want this type of lower back kind of snake thing going on. You want it to be solid, right? So for that reason, you want to not do the butt wink, because when you do the butt wink, what happens is now the back will round, right? So say this is the back, this is the stomach, this is the back will round, and now these little ligaments will start to stretch in between, and at some point the disc will pop out the back, and that's what we know as a herniated disc. Now a place where most people, and this is coming up because one of the guys in the comment section mentioned this the other day, he just hurt his lower back, and this is something that a lot of people don't realize. When you're leg pressing, if you let your bum come off the pad, so say you're, you know, this is you laying on the pad and you're leg pressing up and down, and then you're coming down far, but then you're like, oh, I want to get that extra little bit of range of motion, and then you start rounding the ass off the pad in order to do that, you will be doing the same thing to your lower back. These ligaments in here and the discs will be in jeopardy, and you can herniate a disc in your lower back doing that. And I've talked to many people who have done this, so this is something to watch out for. When you're trying to achieve that extra range of motion, don't do it by allowing the butt wink to happen. Now, in my experience with squatting, you can allow a little bit of the rounding the lower back for a period of time. You can usually get away with this for a little bit of a period of time, but you definitely won't be able to get away with it forever. And second of all, you'll notice that you'll never be able to get away with it unless you've got a lower back made from steel, because I've seen some guys like this too. I have seen some guys like this. But if you start rounding your lower back during deadlifts or bent over movements, you're definitely going to be putting your lower back into jeopardy, and you will herniate a disc or get a disc bulge at some point from that. So the point of this video is to basically share with you that you don't want to let that butt wink thing happen. And if it is happening, adjust your range of motion. Of course, deal with flexibility issues that you might have in your hamstrings that are causing it. But in the end, if your hamstrings are already flexible, if you've taken care of all the flexibility in the ankle joint and in the hamstrings, all this kind of stuff, then it just might be just the way your hip joints are built themselves and how you are built, right? And it might have to do with your individual joint ratios, like I've talked about before, lower back length to femur ratio. It's not about tall or short. Too many guys out there think tall and short means something. That doesn't mean anything. It's more about the ratio between the upper body and the lower body in the tibia and the femur and the lower back and upper back. These ratios are what are going to play a major role in how you move. But the one thing you don't want to do is try to get that parallel squat by rounding the back or doing the butt wink. If you do that, you are going to get a lower back problem at some point. Make sure you're not doing that. So I hope this helps you out with your training. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you need to get home, just go to naturallandbodybuilding.com and take care for now.